Asking for a friend. What is knowledge but the realizing we are ignorant? Not generally, but specifically. What is our ignorance each but a new experience? I do not recall anything before this life, then this life, with its ignorances. What next? Something new. This is how knowledge is accumulated by undying souls. This corridor leads to that which I knew. That one into the future. Or perhaps we would think this if we had been here for the mysteries. Welcome back. I'm your operator, Jirakitayakorn, call sign W. Thorn, report date 30 December 79. Thanks for showing up again. And here I am with my heart out in the open. As Birmingham native Hugh Martin once wrote, "Here we are, as in olden days. Happy golden days of yore. Fateful friends who are dear to us, gather near to us once more." We had a jubilant return with many kind faces, but that story is for another time. We're going to do a little bit of experimentation today, with your blessing. While this is a track that I've prepared for my own use, it really doesn't mean much without you, because I very much want to know what you get from it. If you're familiar with hypnosis or guided meditation, this will be something of a variation on a theme. We're going to walk through a short sequence of internal actions. I will guide you through a pretty precise series of instructions so we can see what your experience is like after the fact. But for now, don't worry about that. No need to try to do anything in particular. You don't need to have any experience in particular, or belief system. We are not working with energy or any kind of metaphysics. Nothing must be true in order for this to be effective. This is merely a perceptual exercise. I encourage listening in a quiet, relaxed position where you won't be disrupted for the length of the recording. Headphones are optimal. We will not be employing any quiet or subliminal messaging or anything of that sort. This is strictly an internal exercise. If you have experience in out-of-body or lucid dreaming techniques, this is not quite that. We are not attempting to put our bodies to sleep or leave the waking state, just a relaxed, contemplative sitting or lying or standing position. My only request is that you do your best to avoid vividly picturing the appearance and details of your experience. This may be difficult for those with active visual imaginations, unlike myself, hence this bespoke, non-visual strategy. I'm curious if this is helpful within such a context for others. I will say more to this within the exercise. You can pause here and prepare yourself. The exercise will take 33 minutes. I'll start some sounds so we can start syncing our focus, and thus we will begin. A little bit of binaural audio to help nudge our brain in the right direction. Get in a comfortable position, and then let everything slow. Relax. And when I say relax, I mean relinquish your interference with your body or your breathing. Watch your body breathe, feel your abdomen move, as though nothing you do might change its rhythm. Bring your tongue to gently touch the ridge behind your front teeth. Then relax it slowly to the bottom of your mouth. Leave your body alone. Draw breath in from the tip of your nose or your lips where you feel the breath moving. then relax this observation as well. Let everything settle. Don't feel like you have to match your breathing to this. It will rotate gently so you don't feel stagnant or locked in. Okay. In just a moment, you're going to let all your breath settle down out of your lungs. And when it does, you're going to follow that feeling of emptying down through the bottom of your chest. Feel it empty at the bottom. We're going to do it again. Pause for a moment and feel the stillness of your body in that brief pause. Behind your navel, just under where your diaphragm doesn't move when you breathe. Pause. Still. Breathe normally. We're going to do a few rounds of that, breathing, pausing, and feeling still. Don't try to picture anything. Don't try to feel anything in particular. Don't try to flex anything or squeeze. Don't try to hold breath out. Just let it go out. Feel empty. Take just a second. And then breathe normally again. We'll do 3 pauses. And then we'll hold for just a moment longer and let that really drop and be still. Breathe normally. Breathe. One more. And now settle out. Let it come to a rest. Pause. Feel that stillness spread downward. Now breathe normally again. Do this twice more. Take 3 inhale and exhales, and on the third exhale, let it out for just a moment, pause, and feel that stillness. And breathe normally again. During those breaths, if you felt anything tense or move around in your body as a response, take a moment and feel, not with your limbs or with your hands, feel in your body where that sensation was. By feel that, I mean use your awareness to take up that place. Like if you bang your knee into something, your awareness goes there in your knee, it's just there. Go to that place and let it settle out. Watch it. Don't try to flex or stretch it, don't correct it. Just feel it move around and let it pass away. Obviously, if you're uncomfortable, then don't force through it. Pause the recording and correct it, but try allowing it to just move. Most things are going to move toward the extremities, out toward the limbs. We're going to do another round of 3 inhales and exhales and dropping. But this time when we drop that stillness into our lower abdomen, we're going to take that brief pause and then slowly and relaxed and without forcing anything, breathe 1 breath in 3 parts. You fill up a third, you let a little out. You fill up another third, relax, then all the way in. And then let it slowly, effortlessly, noiselessly, slowly, smoothly exit, like this. There's no pause at the top. You just go up and slowly come down, all the way out, and then return to relaxed breathing. Not like this. There should be no tension. Relaxed. Don't tense your face or your shoulders or your chest. Relaxed. Now again, we're going to do 3 rounds of 3 breaths in. Then after the third exhale, we'll drop down for a moment. Effortless. Now out and settle. Pause. Settle. Pause. Relax again. Third time, we'll stop for just a little longer, and then the 3 breaths in. Ready? Out. Empty. Still. Now your whole body drifts slowly into weightlessness, like the softest, most calming water. Relaxed breathing again. You can feel your limbs floating. You can feel the hair around you floating. Floating. You're safe. You're calm. You're doing it perfectly. 3 breaths in. That is our trigger for this deep calm. We work from here. With your eyes closed, breathe normally and feel where you are in space, in your immediate environment. Now we will ground ourselves in that space, so there's no mistaking where in space the body is. I imagine the feeling of a cannonball just above my tailbone when I'm lying on my back, anchoring me with a heavy security into my place in my physical environment. I feel the water around me as empty space. I know I'm in a room. I sense with my skin the air, the border between inside and out, and the emptiness of space around my body, the air moving. Then I forget the bed or the chair or the floor, and I let it fade. Still. Now I am aware of the space around me, in non-space, in perfect empty void. There is no limit in either direction. I directly know the space around this point of awareness. I directly know myself as nothing in particular. There is no body to visualize, no depth, but infinite space. I bring my focus to the darkness of nothing, then I directly know that there is space around my body. I know that I could expand this feeling out in the direction that I'm facing in order to create volume, some amount of distance between this point of awareness, this perspective here, and somewhere there. Arbitrarily, I do this. Now there is a difference between here, close to me, and there, some distance away. I pause to feel that space, that no distance in particular. I breathe. I understand that on either side of this distance, to the left and the right, there is room for other space. I feel there is distance across the space in front of me, a width, along with its depth. I can feel the space. I'm not looking. I feel it. I know where they are, regardless of any kind of measurement, is different than where I am. I decide how much arbitrary distance is enough, from left to right, across, and I acknowledge the limits of how far left and how far right this space is, relative to my point of awareness. Not in terms of numbers or measurement, just as a non-physical feeling. I directly feel and know that I am here, and there are 2 points, there to the left and there to the right, that mark the limits of what I've decided this distance is within void. Stay anchored. Feel the anchor. We are going directly to the left corner, just as far ahead and just as far left as feels appropriate. In order to do this, we don't try to move awareness at all. Just breathe and feel where you are in this anchored position. Let the space around you, the feeling of the space around you, fade into the background of your awareness. Breathe. Now feel that measure of space behind you, and know that behind you, back there, you are breathing. You are feeling the front of the line, so to speak. You feel the distance behind you and not in front of you. Behind you, you can feel that you are also the back of the line, back there, that extends forward. You are breathing attached to the anchor in your rooted space back there. You are there in the left corner with space behind you. Breathe. Feel this. Now you're going to do the same thing to the right corner, just a bit faster. From here, feel the space behind you. Feel yourself breathing behind you at the back of the line. Feel the lack of space to your left and to your front. Not cramped, but acknowledging that limit. This is the corner. Feel the space behind you. Feel the border in front of you. Feel the border to your right. Feel the space now to your left. You have changed corners without moving. Stay here for a moment, breathing normally and feeling that breath from your anchored spine. Back there. Back here. To the front of your awareness in the right corner, with everything behind you. You're calm. You're safe. Feel that anchor again. You understand that now, from here to your left and to your right, as well as ahead of you to the left and right, are corners that you could occupy if you wish. There are no walls, there is no border, there's nothing to see. There is only the space that you choose to acknowledge around you, and where you decide this sandbox ends. The space is limitless, but you choose to measure it by sheer feeling of some distance without feature. This is nowhere special. We are just breathing in your calm bit of void. Feel yourself close the distance ahead of you. You are at the opposite end of this self-surveyed space. You can feel that just in front of you, there is the equivalent of not space, a border, a wall with no size and no feature. You simply feel this as an end to the empty space in front of you. The whole space is behind you. Then, focusing on the border in front of you, feel that border open slightly into a comfortable square ahead of you. By feeling the area around you change to the size and the shape of that box, you move forward into it. You feel yourself breathing. The space is a comfortable square shape, plenty of room. If you feel it closing in on you, let it dissolve. It's simply a construction. And then place it back into position. Reconstitute it bigger. This is simply your mind working. You are safe and in control. We are looking for effortless, without cause. You feel the doorway behind you close, and you take a moment to breathe and settle back down into your anchor. You can feel it. You feel that you are anchored back there in your physical body. You can also feel yourself anchored here in this smaller room. When you're ready to move on, the space in front of you expands, and the space behind you expands. You feel a larger space around you, this time with no corners. This is a round space, larger than the room that we started in. There's nothing here either, nowhere in particular. Just a nowhere that feels big and round. Tall, but not overly cavernous. You feel yourself in the center of this round atrium with no features or details. Take a moment to feel the space around you. Directly behind you is where you came from, and directly ahead of you, equidistant, is another doorway. The path through the center of this round room is a line from the doorway behind you to the one in front of you. You don't see doors, still just empty space. But directly behind you is your anchor, way back there at the back of the line. And ahead of you is a doorway to a new place. You can feel that doorway close ahead of you, with the round atrium behind you. Continue to breathe. Take take a moment and settle back in front of that door. Don't imagine a door. Simply know that this border will give way into something else. Now, to finish our session, we're going to enter that door ahead of us by closing the distance behind us and opening the distance in front of us. But this time, when we open that distance ahead, keeping our eyes closed, we are going to feel the physical distance between the front of our bodies and the physical wall ahead of us. If you're lying on your back, then the ceiling above you. Just as we've been doing all this time, acknowledging that physical distance. When we feel that we directly know the space between our moving chest and the wall or ceiling ahead of us, feel that space and the large empty space of the atrium behind us. Do this now. I take an easy, slow exhale. Pause, then a slow 3-tiered breath. I feel the distance behind me close, and I open my eyes. Remain still. I take note of the doors and the windows present on that side of my room. Looking right, I take note of doors and windows on that side of the room. Looking up and left, I take note of lights and lamps on that side of the room. Looking up and right, I take note of light fixtures and lamps on the right side of the room. Looking down and to the right, I take note of the shape of the room and how it is divided by features that if I moved out, I would not take with me, like my fireplace and mantel to the right. Turning left and looking down, I see typographical features there like my stairs going up and the ceiling going up with them, the banister. I directly know the distance between myself and the ceiling fan above me. I return my gaze to the center and close my eyes. I feel the distance between myself and the doors and windows to my left. I feel the distance between myself and the doors and windows to my right. I feel the distance between myself and the light fixtures to my left, then to my right, then directly overhead. I feel the distance between myself and the features on the left of the room, then to the right. I feel the open space between myself and the four corners of the wall ahead of me. Top left where it meets the ceiling, top right, bottom right where it meets the floor, bottom left. I feel the empty space between myself and the four corners behind me. Bottom left, bottom right, top right. I feel the spatial relationship between myself and the bottom left corner behind me and the top right corner in front of me. I feel the border of my body and the air around it. will sit until my heartbeat is the center of my attention. Then I will summon overwhelming gratitude for its maintaining, steadfast service within me. I will feel something like intense luck, for the human experience is a rare and incredible thing. Take a few moments before getting up. Move your limbs slowly and sit up gently. I recommend taking a brisk walk for about 20 minutes after this. Definitely avoid caffeine for the next half hour. Thank you for participating in our exercise. If you would like to submit your experience and any relevant comments or data, you may email us from the description or comment below. We also accept voice memos by email. We will share nothing without express permission by you. Be well. Also, here's a little disclaimer. Don't do this while you're driving, or operating heavy machinery, or responsible for children, or signing government paperwork. Use this track responsibly. The Syzygy group, myself, the operator, the Earth Hotel, and just any other one are not responsible for what you do with this. This is a resource of mine that I'm simply sharing. Play that other disclaimer. It's a little more wacky. Bye-bye.
The Earth Hotel is a production by Jackie Cotillard, the individual and named collaborators. All contents included are done so under fair use and with permission. The ideas and opinions expressed here not necessarily reflect those of Jackie Cotillard, the Earth Hotel, or associated parties, nor do they reflect those of guests or contributors prior or future. All music, words, and otherwise not cited as authored elsewhere are creations of Jackie Cotillard and remain the intellectual property thereof. Unauthorized use strictly prohibited. The Earth Hotel, all rights reserved, 2014, updated 2024.